Hello there everyone, I'm Neurobax. Welcome back to Williams. I'm finally back. I apologize for the hiatus here. I unfortunately got worse actually after my last upload of Aston. But I've taken it easy now for a week. I feel a lot better. I'd say I'm back to about 90% of, feeling good. So I'm kind of getting back into it. We're gonna continue here on Williams. In terms of the, the smoothness test that we're going to do between Pourchaire and Piastri, I've given it a bit of thought, and I think we're going to do it at Coda. The reason for that is very simple. If we go and have a look at the circuits, let's see, Coda. United States Grand Prix here. It's quite a harsh one, if I remember correctly, in terms of degradation. It can actually be said for this one as well. So I believe Sao Paulo or Mexico. I can't remember actually. One of these is pretty light in terms of tire wear, if I'm not completely mistaken. So what I'm thinking is that we do the tire test at the last 4 races here, and I'll do that in a different video. But I'm just thinking it's better to know why Piastri is going to be running around here with 10 points saved up. We're going to be, as I said, doing the tire test at Coda. The second reason why I want to do that is to see if we can get the Pourchaire stats up a bit, because potentially, I would assume, well, probably doesn't actually, but I would assume this might have an effect on tire wear too. If you mess up your braking a lot, you're gonna, damage your tires. If your cornering is bad, you're gonna also have more wear on the tires. Same with the, the accuracy, things like that. So we'll give Pourchaire a bit more time to develop potentially, and we'll try and get cornering and braking up to 97 for him as well. And we'll take it from there. But as I said, we're back. I'm feeling a bit better. Hopefully we'll be back to a more normalized upload schedule. I apologize for my hiatus. And I'd like to say thank you to everyone who have been, sending me messages while I've been gone. It really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And hopefully now I can get back on track with both Williams, Aston, the streams. And also you'll probably see some potentially other games here. With that in mind, though, we are ready to continue. We have Circuit Paul Ricard up next, France. And with that, we can set up our performance targets. Q3 should be doable for both our drivers. No problems with Q2 either. Finish position 1-2, I guess, should be doable. Again, I've been at it for a bit, but I believe we're still pretty dominant here, Williams. So I'd say we should be okay. Finish position top 4. Are we actually getting challenged? Is that... Again, it's been a while. I can't really remember. So let's have a quick look at the standings. We've won all but 1 race, and we've been on the podium for all of them. So I think we're good. We also lost 1 pole position somehow. But I still say we're okay. With that, let's get on to the French Grand Prix. But before that, let me just double check that we have all projects running. We do. Do we have anything in the warehouse? We do have new chassis that we can slap on if we feel the need. Front wing as well. Okay, so we do, if we start losing out a ton, we have better parts here to, produce and put on. And we even have a new underfloor. Okay, so we're actually in a very good position. We're just playing it a bit more passive, if you will, in order to have a challenge here. I see. Let's get on with it, the French Grand Prix again. I'm gonna need just a couple of races here to get back into it. It's been a while since I last played, over a week, due to, again, just getting worse after uploading that last video. I thought it was getting better. I was a little bit too active, a little bit too quick, and my body just said, no, you can't do that. So I'm back now. I'm going to still be taking it easy, don't worry. I'll just be recording a bit, but I'll still be taking it pretty chill here. Let's go to the race weekend. Here we are. We're ready for the race. Qualifying went great, as you can see. Pretty close. One a little bit over a 10th between our drivers. And Doohan was a good 3/10 behind that again. So we still have a fairly dominant car. Don't get me wrong. Expected strategies here are 1 stops for everyone, really. And in terms of compound performance here, 2.5 tenths, well, 2.6 tenths basically for soft to medium. You lose 300s a lap. So again, It'll be better for 8 to 10 laps, and then I'll start losing out. And it's about the same from medium to hard, but the degradation there is at 100 lower. So again, the mediums will be, you know, competitive for a bit longer, 15 to 20 laps. And as a result of that, with the one stop, we'll have to see exactly what we do. Soft to medium could work, potentially. But we'll have to have a look at how many laps it is total. Judging by this, I'd expect something around 55, if I remember correctly. But we can have a look at that. In terms of the pit lane, lost time here also is pretty bad. 27 seconds. So if we take that into account, we basically will need a safety car or a virtual safety car if we want to try and do a two-stopper. But over the last 4 seasons here, as you can see, we've had no virtuals and no safety cars. So one stop should be the probably, you know, preferred strategy here. I think we might actually start on the hards and then go mediums, because that is something that works, honestly. If you have a car that is equal with the second best team, or even slightly worse, you can go hards onto the mediums and basically take advantage of the DRS. We could also go long on the hards and go into the softs towards the end. But I don't know what we want to do. I think honestly we just want to start on the hards. It should be all right, and we'll go onto the mediums towards the end. To make sure we keep up, we can overfuel the car a bit, put in 4 kilograms of extra fuel, basically. Well, around 4 kilograms, not precisely. And that should be enough. We'll just go fuel usage, and we'll not be using ERS because the goal here isn't to run away. I don't think we will be able. We'll have to see at the start of the race what the other teams are doing. But I'm thinking that we should be okay. As you can see, we also switched out our ERS for this race, and that is basically due to ERS here being minor damage. But the engine, even though it's 74, again, we start losing at 85. Should still be more than efficient enough. Same for the gearbox, so we're not going to switch those out for this Grand Prix. Let's get started. It's actually quite good to be back.
With the French Grand Prix.
Mercedes' second row.
It's lights out.
Am I seeing some white banding there? Yeah, so basically everyone is actually doing the same. Leclerc has actually made his way up a bit, but Gasly and Doohan are pretty far down the field here. So what we're going to do is actually deploy for both our drivers and see if we can create a gap here where they can DRS off each other. And that way, you know, take control of this race. That'll be the goal here. We're already getting a gap here to Ocon and Leclerc and the Mercedes. And we're already there, I dare say. We can go neutral for both our drivers here now. And again, unless we have a safety car or, you know, something like that, it should be smooth sailing. The Alpine of Doohan is all the way down in 13th. So if we run away here, we might be able to make something happen. But I'm just going to speed things along because, again, we are in a pretty good position.
It's a stonking lap.
And in terms of practice, usually we have Behrman take Pocher's spot. This time I had him take Piastri's, simply because we want to try and get Pocher up to, you know, Piastri's stats, if you will. And as you can see already, 6 laps in, 6-second advantage. So we're definitely making some work happen. Again, also running a high engine mode is potentially more damaging to the tires, so you need to take that into account when you do the push here. The push will hurt the tires, although it isn't explicitly stated. Multiple cars crashed. Okay. Virtual safety car. It's too early to make this work. Had we been on the softs, it could actually have been pretty good, but even so, would come out behind, you know, the Ferraris here. Potentially even behind Gasly, so it wouldn't be worth to pit. I believe Ocon has been involved, seeing that he has lost to Leclerc.
Multiple cars, I think. We can take a look now. Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
I wish I could. Okay, yeah, so I assume what happened here is that Ocon ran wide. Is it Ocon or is it Leclerc that has crashed? I honestly can't tell. Doohan ran into the back of Mercedes. That's how it works. My bad. I misunderstood. But Doohan had damage to the wing, so he was making good upwards, but he wasn't in 13 right before that. How How did he make his way up to 5th? That's pretty bad though for him. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I guess I cursed him with that statement that over the last 4 seasons, we'd had no VSC or safety cars, and then it immediately happened. Now, again, the VSC is kind of buggy, so I don't really want to tune down any of my settings or, you know, recharge, because you'll end up losing time to the cars behind if you do that under VSC, because the driver doesn't actually manage their delta properly, so if you tune them down, they will lose time. So it will probably, well, that's my experience at least, so it's probably not worth it.
You're doing very good. Lap time are good. Lap time are good.
But yeah, back to the thought. We're having the second driver run Piastri's car because we want to try and buff Porsche towards the end of this season. And yeah, other than that, everything went as normal. We have Doohan down in 18th here. He is, you know, 1.5 pit stops behind, which is actually good for us. So yeah, we will still be burning fuel though. That will not change. And in terms of tire usage here, you see, even with the tire, you know, the fuel burn, over 20 laps, Porsche has 4.5%, I'd say, tire wear advantage. But then again, that tire wear advantage, I don't feel is worth the slower lap times by investing 50 points into, of course, tire wear. I feel like you'd say more, you know, investing it into something else. But that's just my own opinion. We have first wave of pit stops here. All the medium runs have gone onto their hard tires, and they'll probably stay on those to the end. Doohan will have to potentially pit again, I think. There's no way around that. And in terms of lap times here, we're still quite a lot faster than other hard runners, so I'd say we're looking pretty good. We now have a pit stop down to Leclerc, so we can start pitting probably around 35% mark, and then we'll just run normal from there. So as you can see, Piastri's tires have fallen off a bit more aggressively than expected, and again, we're just gonna run a couple more laps here and get him onto the mediums, and then we'll do the same for Porsche. Let's get him onto the mediums, and as I said, we're going to tune down fuel usage. We probably overfueled a tad too much there, to be fair. One knot of overfuel will probably have been enough, and when I say knot, I mean lap. So we overfueled 2. 1 would probably have done the trick. I'm thinking we allow Porsche to run at least 1 extra lap, but if we want him to stick with Piastri, here's the thing, he kind of has to react because he is slower than Piastri. There's just no way around that, so I say we allow him to attack, and we'll get him onto the mediums as well. Again, he has better tire management, so it should be alright, I think. We'll just have to see where Porsche comes out in relation to Piastri now. Let's just tune this down before I forget. And can Porsche now come out alongside Piastri, or will he be far behind? So, lost that a little bit, I dare say. But it's still acceptable, so to speak. We're going to speed things along here now, and honestly, new fastest lap immediately, not too surprising. Yellow flag in sector 2. Piastri's actually kind of getting left behind, but I think he'll catch up again pretty quickly. I'm not going to do anything. As you can see, if Porsche was falling behind, though, we'd have to make changes. Doohan has made his way up to 3rd, though, but again, I believe he will have to pit again. 15 more laps on those hards is possible, but they'll be basically completely dead to the point where he might actually suffer a puncture if he's unlucky. So, unless we have our cars crash into each other, which are probably now just jinxed, I'd say we have this 1-2 in hand, no problem at all. Again, maybe a bit of a boring... Excuse me. Maybe a bit of a boring race. Again, I should really have that microphone mute button set up, but I forgot, so apologies. Yeah, there we go. Doohan is pitting again, and he came out in 10th. on old scrub softs. But even so, 5 laps, 4 seconds up to 4th. And we have a driver ran wide and another virtual safety car. We also have damage by looks of things. Do we though? Yeah, that looks like damage. I did jinx them. That Porsche's front wing? Piastri's looks okay. We have no doubt. Is it Piastri's? Yes, minor damage to front wing. Okay. 4 laps to go. I think we're okay just letting them run. We do have a lot of time though, so we should be okay even if we do pit. Let's see what actually happened here first.
Now we see the Williams here.
Because one of them ran wide and the other ran into the back is the way that I understand it.
And that's a big smash. They'll have felt that.
Okay, so he lost both his end plates. Luckily though, no damage to... I don't understand this slow rolling, but no damage to the car. I'll have to have a look if the gearbox took damage though. That's going to be the big one. Maybe a little bit, but shouldn't be too much. They had equal gearboxes before this. Luckily, most 1 to 2% loss there from the crash, unless of course you know both lost damage, but I think we're fine. We could pit Piastri here, because he's probably not going to catch up to Porsche anyways. So let's just pit him, get him on the softs, get him on a new front wing. And again, we have about a minute down to Leclerc here, so we're good on that regard too. Honestly, let's just get Porsche in as well. Get him on the softs. I don't know if the tires actually took damage there. Let's just do it. It's safe anyways. Tires did not take damage, but we can guarantee fastest lap for both our drivers. And that should be perfectly okay. Virtual safety car ends soon. We should still be, you know, very, very safe. There we are. We're out about 10 seconds for Piastri, 20 seconds for Porsche. Ahead of Leclerc. And these softs should now just guarantee that we get the fastest laps. There we go, Porsche, Piastri, they're nabbing it back and forth. And in terms of the last lap times here, we're 3 seconds quicker than other cars. So you can see that these old tires that they're running,
This is the final lap.
is kind of hurting them a lot more because we weren't that
2
much
laps
quicker
to
on
go.
the hards. So I'm thinking it's okay. We're just gonna run them as
The
is.
flag.
And there we go. First race back, we got a 1-2. We have a good old Williams driver clash. And generally, a good race, honestly. A bit boring, but I cursed this with 2 safety cars, not safety cars, virtual safety cars. After saying what hadn't done for the last 4 seasons, so yeah, I kind of willed that into existence. That's on me. The same with jinxing these two into crashing into each other. That's on me as well. Doohan here did a good job with his 2, you know, pit stops. He too had a crash, but even so, he made it up to 4th place. Started 16th with his penalties, so very good from him. Leclerc 3rd for Mercedes, Norris 5th for Red Bull, Sainz 6th for Ferrari. Again, top 6 only ones getting points here. Fastest lap didn't actually matter because we don't have that as a performance incentive, and we don't get extra points for that. Again, the point system just switching back and forth a lot is confusing to me. And I can't keep them all straight in my head when we have 3 saves going at the same time. Now, Driver Championship, we have Doohan moving up to 3rd, which is probably where he will end up. He has 8 podiums out of 12 possible. And Leclerc moving up to 6th here. So, in terms of constructors, up here now, again, they've been safely in 2nd the whole season, really. Mercedes 3rd, Ferrari 4th, Red Bull 5th, and the other 5 teams have yet to score points. Which, again, isn't that surprising with this setup. Decent amount of development gained. So, as I've said here, what we're going to be aiming at is getting Porsche's braking, cornering, and probably accuracy up before the test in Coda in Brazil. And as you can see, in terms of performance incentives, we have a little bit extra money, about 900 to 1 million. So, decent amount of money made as well. Next up will be Hungary. I think we'll just get braking to 97. Then we'll do the same with cornering. And then we'll do probably accuracy. Control could be good, but I don't think it'll have any effect for the smoothness test. So we'll be focusing braking, cornering, accuracy. Reactions could be, you know, good, but I think accuracy will be more important for that. And again, we're going to just save up Piastri's points for now. Upcoming board review, high confidence. I'd hope so. We have the development points here for Slovakia, which will go into front wing. And we'll be maxing that next, as the goal is. Aerodynamics points, we have 2. We are pretty balanced here, honestly. Again, we aren't really racing behind other cars, so we don't really need sensitivity. Management, though, will help. So I think what we do is this. Get these to 90. And I think the next thing we do here is actually focus on potentially just drag reduction to get speed up. Because I want to see just how fast we can make the car. None of our other stuff has points. That's good. Well, not good. We don't have anything to do, more like it. But yeah, we will be going right on here with Hungary. Shouldn't be a big concern. Boardroom import condition, we could refurbish. We have the money to do so. And honestly, we're just going to do it. It could be fun to save up money. Tour center isn't that important, though. We're not going to be refurbishing that one. Everything else here is looking good, I believe. Yeah, so we are spending a lot of money on our facilities. But it's part of the testing, really. Balance was still making money, though, even with, you know, all our costs there. Was paying 7 million a month for our facilities, which means that we are, over the course of a year, spending about 70 million. So it sucks. I really wouldn't have upgraded these this high if I had known. But for now, the rest of the cost cap here will go to research and potentially extra ERS and engine, I think. But with that said, let's set up performance targets for Hungary. Q3, Q2, both drivers. A quality of life thing that I wish would be was just like maximize, you know, these things. That would have been good. This one is not maximized. There we go. That would have been swell. And with that, we're ready to head off to Hungary. Let's go. Here we are. We're ready for Hungarian Grand Prix. Once again, we had a good qualifying. But I believe Doohan is very close to us. He was 14.4. So less than a 10th between him and Pocher. A bit more between him and Piastri. But he's getting closer. Expected strategies here are 1-stops or a potential 2-stopper for hard, medium, soft. Or soft, hard, medium, rather. And in terms of performance here, the soft is probably not something we would consider much at all. It's probably going to be mediums. As you can see, there's just 600s between the softs and the mediums, which translates to, with the time loss here, the softs just being better for 2 laps, really, before they start losing out to the mediums. 300s between them, 600s to begin with. But again, can't fully trust this thing, but it's what you'd expect. So 3 tenths between the mediums and the hards, so around 15 laps advantage there with 200s degradation difference. So again, medium to hard is probably the better strategy. Could potentially make the softs work with safety cars. But we'll see what we do here. Consideration in terms of time, pit lane is fairly average, 22 seconds. Safety car, 60% chance for either virtual or a full safety car. So yeah, it's going to be a bit interesting. Over the last 4 seasons, we've had 3 races with a safety car, so you can expect one to show up, and that might actually have a, you know, a bearing on a strategy here. We might once again invert this one and go hard to medium to have an advantage towards the end. But medium to hard should also work. But I think we're just going to go ahead and invert this strategy. It will be probably one of the better ones that we can do, honestly. And we'll do the same for... I was about to call him Piastri. Pocher here. We'll put him on the hard to medium as well. And I believe this time Doohan is actually going to be right behind us. So this should be an okay strategy. We can get onto another set of mediums earlier if we have a safety car. So it's nice to have the option. In terms of fuel here, we won't have too much to burn because we can only overfuel an extra 300 grams or 0.2 laps extra. So we're kind of limited what we do here. We're going to do this, we're going to deploy, and we're going to see if this is enough to get away from Doohan. And if it is, great. If it isn't, we're just gonna be using his DRS and kind of run things a bit more passively.
As the sun continues to shine, this is it.
This is it, yeah.
Grand Prix.
I see softs behind us. Medium, soft, medium.
Lights out,
So,
and away we go.
as expected, none of the AIs used any strategy than most hards. And as you can see here, Doohan is already making moves. I don't know what exactly Porsche is doing. He's doing a bit of an interesting one. We'll have to see if he can regain that position. And it looks like he is slightly quicker even on the hards. So if he just sends it, he might be able to just retake that position fairly quick. But not in this occasion. We are going to speed things up here in terms of the other tire uses again. Doohan is on medium, Gasly's on softs. And the back of the pack here is using, for the most part, softs. Verstappen included. Verstappen made it to Q3, but had a penalty, which is why he's running worse tires than everyone else.
is currently disabled.
I forgot about ERS, so we're going to have to harvest a little bit here. And we are almost a full second ahead here. We might need to slow down Piastri just a slight amount here to allow Porsche to get within DRS range, and unfortunately Doohan will be able to do the same. So unfortunate, but it seems like we will be pulling them along in this case. Yeah, so we're just gonna run everything normal now from the to the end here, and even if Gasly and Doohan keep up with us, we should have an advantage because we'll be on a better tire towards the end of the race. That will be the goal at least. And since, again, if we're lucky, we might also get a cheap pit stop here with a safety car. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But for now, Doohan, Piastri, Gasly, Porsche. Doohan is quicker. It should be on the mediums for at least the first, 10 to 15 laps at the very least. So we'll see how this pans out. But it is fun to actually have a bit of a challenge again. I'm also impressed with how Alpine is actually ended up developing. We'll have to see if they can keep it up. And maybe now Gasly is getting left behind. Kind of is, unfortunately for him. Those softs, I believe, are dropping off quite a bit, as you can see. Fastest laps for our drivers. And are we actually going to end up leaving Doohan behind now too? We do have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Driver locked up for Piastri. He fell a bit back here. Not much we can do about that, which is unfortunate. Because Doohan and Porsche will DRS off each other. And Piastri will struggle here to catch up, I think. But that's racing. Even with max stats, he will still lock up. Gasly is now pitting. And a lot of the soft runners are. Because their tires are basically, gone. And they've, for the most part, gone on to hards. Well, not for the most part. All of them have gone on to hards. And as you can see, 20 laps in, they have about 25 to 30% degradation. So they can and should potentially last to the end of the race. In terms of lap times, Piastri is slower than the cars in front, which isn't that surprising, seeing that they have DRS and he does not. So he will be losing out to the DRS train in front because they'll just keep on switching positions. But it looks like he is gaining again. Yeah, he gained half a second on that last one. So unless they overtake, if they do not overtake, he will be able to catch up with them. We now have about a pit stop down to Sainz. Well, for Porsche, Piastri does not. But then again, they're on the mediums, they're going to pit before us. So again, not concerned. We do have extra fuel to burn though. Let's get some of it burned up here. And it's actually perfect timing because now Doohan pitted. So let's see now if we can have some catch up here from Piastri. Slowing down Porsche could be the move here. But the difference in, slowing him down by 6 seconds feel like just a disservice really. Had it been 3, 4 maybe. But for now I think it's fine like this. Should be perfectly okay. No matter which one we pick, we should be coming out in third. So We're good. We're looking really good here.
We've just had a car
Doohan
run
has
wide.
pitted though, and he's currently running lap times that are about 6/10 quicker. So this could potentially be bad,
Oh, we've had a spin.
but I again think that we should be safe. We shouldn't be that far off, really. We have about lap 42, so 4 more laps until we will be pitting. So with 6/10, 7/10s, you'd gain about 2 to 3 seconds. Would be 10, 12 seconds behind for Poucher. A bit more here for Piastri, but with the better tires, we should be able to make something out of it within the last 28 laps, so to speak. I'm thinking we have Piastri go full attack here. We'll just pit him this lap. And for Poucher, we'll have him to go full attack for 2 laps, and then we'll pit him then. So let's go delay the pit stop by 1 lap. There we are. And we'll tune him down once he gets to closer to the pits, probably around here. Just gonna pause it to be safe. So Piastri in 3rd. He is 15 seconds behind Doohan. And we'll have to see now how he's doing in terms of lap times, if he can catch up. Six seconds between, 8 seconds for Poucher, 14 seconds for Piastri. And we'll have a look now on how are the lap times in comparison. So we're getting about 7/10 now for Poucher on that, sorry, Piastri on that outlap. Well, not outlap, you know what I mean. And now we're about half a second in advantage for both our drivers here. Doohan set fastest lap. I believe he got DRS from a back marker, which is just how it is. But generally here, we will be running faster times than him, and we should be able to catch up fairly quick here. We have 20 laps to do it on. If we maintain it to, you know, half a second or so
Schumacher off.
every lap, it should be doable. We have Schumacher off here, which could be a safety car, but we're kind of in a bad position for, you know, making any moves. But Schumacher has, you know, gotten back onto the track.
Sounds like a single car. Let's take a look at the replay. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
Lock up into
That's an off.
a slight touch on the wall, by looks of things, even though we didn't see. So
Okay, reduce lift and coast.
probably a front wing change for him. But again, it's not a big concern. Poucher now almost up to Doohan. And once we get up to Doohan here, we're actually going to harvest. We're going to go balanced.
It's time
And
to lock up.
the goal here is very simple. We're going to get full ERS here. And then on the straight, we are going to be, well, the main straight that is, because you get DRS down this line, but also this line. We will be trying to make a move on Poucher. We're going to also go balance it for Piastri. So for now, we can go push. We can go deploy, I feel. And we'll see now if we can gain that 1 second that we need. We should be able to, no problem whatsoever. Poucher already has. He already done it.
And a
He already
lead
has
position
that gap he
just
needs.
gained by Williams.
And if we're lucky here, we might also get DRS down the straight again from one of the other cars here. And it looks like we did. So, boom. Poucher 4 seconds ahead in a single lap, so to speak. That's quite a dominating performance. 16.8 versus 19.4. Of course, he gained a little bit before that because the line is here, I believe. So everything he gained down to this point didn't get counted into this lap. But still, a very, very good effort there. Next up, we're going to aim at doing the same for Piastri. So we're going to speed things up a bit here until he's at the back of Doohan. And once he is, we're going to go ahead and harvest. And again, just get that ERS up so that we have something to work with. And that we can easily get the gap that we need to maintain, so to speak, the advantage. And there we are. We're looking at the attack now. Push. Deploy. We are looking a little bit worried here for the tire wear, but I think we'll be okay. And Piastri is ahead, and he's off really. He's just going to run away now from Doohan, and that should be another 1-2 for us. Very good here from Pusher. Unlucky for Piastri with that lockup. But yeah, we're just going to run into the end now. I thought one of us locked up again, to be honest there.
Someone spun out.
But again, yeah, a really good result here. We were already 10 seconds ahead of Doohan here. But he's actually running faster right now, so that's an interesting one. Almost getting a full
And this will be
pit
the last lap
window
coming
here
up.
for our lead driver.
There's a big crash in main straight. Copy.
Yeah, big crash main straight.
We've had a
Looks clear
crash.
though.
Let's take a closer look. Now just take a look at the McLaren. A definite collision there. That's very
Well,
unfortunate.
I'd expect that to be a puncture, seeing that the tire's inside the wall, but luckily it didn't, lose the rear wing. Even so, that is disappointing for McLaren, but they weren't really fighting for points anyways, so I guess doesn't matter too much. But both McLarens crashing in this race is definitely disappointing for them. So, there we go. Pusher winning, Piastri second, Doohan third. Kind of what we expected, but probably Piastri and Pusher switched around. But again, accidents happen, can't really do anything about that. In terms of our best lap versus the other's best lap, we were 1.5 seconds ahead of Doohan. So the hard to medium did work pretty well for us here. Verstappen, fourth here on the Ferrari. Gasly fifth for Alpine, and Leclerc sixth for Mercedes. With that, we have one change to driver championship. We have Verstappen moving up. Giovinazzi also had a good result here. Moves up 4 places as a result, even though he hasn't got any points. It's just based on finishing position. And constructors here, we have no real changes. As you can see, not the, most amount of development here. It had probably gotten more. Not a lot of overtakes happening. Pusher had more because he was running with Doohan. Gasly had less because, of course, he ended up, running on his own. But again, not really anything we can do about that. It happens. Made a decent amount of money here. I believe we finished the qualifying position streak, as you can see. So 8 million total. About 3 million extra. Very, very good. With that, we can continue the board review. We're currently doing... we're currently on target for both. We're win the Constructor Championship by 2030. They gave us 3 seasons to do so. I think the long-term objectives need also probably a bit of an update, because we need win the VDC and the Constructors at the same time, basically. Honestly, it should be... I don't know. It's weird. This is nitpicking, though, let's be honest. This is perfectly fine. I just want it to be a bit more varied, basically. We get us... I also want this to change. I want it to vary as well. Just getting 1.5 million no matter what is a bit boring, in my opinion. Garrowing. Of course, I'm also a bit more critical of the game now due to how Frontier handled the, the statements. I have an own video on that, but of course, I might be a bit bitter. So I might just be a bit more nitpicky than usual. My apologies. Typo research complete. Guess we're going to start another one, really. Confidence checking. They are high confidence. Financial report. I don't think we need to worry about that. Car development report. We're losing a bit in acceleration. And we're very bad at brake cooling. But other than that, we still have the best car. Sidepod research completed. Engine cooling is going up. Let's start more researching here. Let's see. We've done 1 project on each. Let's get back to the chassis then. And drag reduction will not be the focus. Cooling and airflow will be. Because again, want to try to do our best to, mitigate the expertise reductions where we can. So we'll be doing just that. Let's get the chassis research started. And next up, we will be heading to next race in 20 days. So we'll actually have some other things going. I forgot it's summer break. Very nice. Facility refurbishment. This should be the boardroom. I was correct. And we have one more research, I believe, coming in before Belgium. Up-and-coming driver, Nathalie Michaud. Still can't propose a contract. Still been 3 seasons in F2 and F3, so I assume that this is a bug, because again, this save is old. It's basically from when the game came out, so maybe an update messed something up with the young drivers here, but it's just how, you know, things are. Can't really do anything about it. We'll probably be testing out newer drivers on the Aston save instead. Front wing is in low stock, that's not wrong. Let's just put it like that. Do we want to upgrade, or do we want to stick with the one we have? Wait a second, why is... Huh? I assume this is a bug, because we're telling me that front wing was worse. Let's have a quick look at the warehouse here. Let's see. Yeah, it was a bug. I hope, because it was giving me incorrect information. Honestly, we could up the brake cooling here, so let's just manufacture 6 of these instead. And once we're out of the current spec front wing, we'll just put on the new one. It's just easier, honestly. Boucher's got a point. Going into braking, again, we're going to get brake to 97. We're going to get the cornering up. Then we'll be making considerations from there on out. Behrman has 2 points to be used. It's going to get cornering up to 85. Again, just going to get everything up to 85, really. Unfortunately, has an extra point in accuracy, otherwise we could have tested that, but it's okay. Unused scouts, again, 70,500. It's a salary that isn't really anything worth it for us, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. We already fixed Behrman's development. Railwing research completed, gained another 7% in airflow. Nothing in DRS, basically. Well, half the percentage points, so basically nothing. And I believe that we are, again, just going to try and fix the airflow sensitivity. That's going to be the goal. We don't have CFD or wind tunnel, which is fine. So let's just get the airflow, again, fixed. And this should, in theory, be enough to, you know, alleviate the issue. And, of course, that's what we're going for here, mainly. We just want to get... We just want to maintain, to some degree, at this point. So fixing the airflow is perfectly viable for me. Belgian Grand Prix. Guess we're ready. Q3, Q2. Could be doable for both our drivers as usual. Not really a big concern. Finish position 1-2. And qualifying position streak is automatic. Don't really need to do anything about that. It'll set the goals itself. Let's head off to Belgium. We're ready for the Belgium Grand Prix. As you can see, qualified first and second, as we usually do. Very close between our 2 drivers. In terms of expected strategies, 1 stops is what is expected. Medium to hard, soft to hard, or soft to medium even. And in terms of performance though, the softs aren't really super good. They're about 2/10 quicker than mediums from the get-go, but they lose about 400s a lap. And they'll be quicker for 5 to 6 laps, meaning competitive for 10. So again, not really the best of the tires. Mediums are 2/10 quicker than the hards, but degrade with only 100. So in essence, they are going to be better for around 20 laps. And the hards degrade the slowest at 500s a lap, for a total of, you know, 47.4. So medium to hard here could be the thing. Softs can work, but it depends on the strategy here. Most likely one thing is that we go, probably just start on the hards here, because even if someone starts on the soft, over the course of a lap, even if we are a deficit of 4/10, we'll still be able to keep up with the guys in front, and it gives us more flexibility towards the end. Of course, if it's an early safety car, that could cause us some problems, but in general, I think we will be good. 20-second pit lane, pretty short, honestly. 11 seconds with a safety car, virtual safety car. And as you can see, we have decent chance of getting 160%. We've had 1 case of 3 safety cars, a single safety car, no deployments, virtuals, so we could expect to get a safety car, honestly. Now, as you can see, the softs can actually last quite a bit, so we could do soft to medium, but the softs will have to go for, as you can see, 15 laps, which is kind of rough. We could start on the mediums and then go hards, That's actually probably what we're going to do, because potentially with the safety car here, we could go on to another set of mediums. We're actually having a bit of rain here. I didn't actually notice that until now, but yeah, we're having rain around lap 17, 18. So going mediums is probably what we're going to do for both drivers. That's on me. I'm just happy that I realized before. In terms of track though, how rainy is it going to be? Going to be intense the entire way. Okay. If this is accurate, which it should be, I think we have, because we have maxed the weather forecast, it's at 100%. This shouldn't deviate at all. We should be fine with just going mediums then, and then we'll go a different compound once it starts raining. Overfueling 2 should also be good here. Honestly, going max overfuel could also work. We will be burning a bit more on the tire wear as a result, but it will allow us to run high fuel to the end of the race. We have actually done it before. But yeah, we're ready. We also have new gearboxes for both our cars here, as you can see. The engine is still... It's starting to get to the point where we might want to consider switching it out, either this race or the next. Sorry, the next race or the one after.
The excitement in the crowd here at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Alpine second row, Ferrari's third row. And then we have the Mercs.
And away we go.
See how this start goes for Doohan. He has got Porsche, but Porsche should get him back into the corner. And we have about almost 5 kilograms of extra fuel here. And as you can see, we're already starting to eke out that little bit of a gap there. If we can get it into, you know, the 1 second margin throughout the second lap here, we will be good. And we have. We're going to put both of our cars to neutral. And we're just going to keep things going now until we get to the rainy period, really. I'm a bit curious on the tire usage of the AI. Yes, it's going to have to pit before the rainy period. Same with Leclerc and Ocon. Russell, maybe the other soft runners could stretch it, but I kind of doubt it. We already had an accident and a safety car. Doohan with a penalty. Gasly has been punctured. He's in the wall. That's an interesting angle on the front. Yeah, Gasly has been boomed out by his teammate by the looks of things. Which honestly gives us the opportunity to do some things, but I don't think we're gonna bother. We're just gonna go harvest, we're gonna go conserve, and we'll have a look at what happened with Doohan and Gasly.
So there we have the Alpine.
Lock up, both wings gone.
And there's the crash. Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that.
I'm wondering if Doohan actually took damage to his engine there. I assume Gasly's gearbox is just completely gone. Can't actually have a look at it because he isn't finishing the race. But yeah, I would assume that again, Doohan might have some damage to his car. We can actually have a look at that right now. Let's have a quick look at lap history, timings, and let's find Doohan here. There he is. So, let's see. Safety car in lap. Looks like he's actually good. So he didn't actually suffer any big damage to his car in that crash. I would assume Gasly did, but again, can't really check it. And this is actually a fairly fresh setup, so that's gonna suck for him. Safety car in this lap. We're gonna tune everything to normal. Doohan is gonna have another kind of rough race here, trying to get back to the front. But I think we'll be good here. Even if we, I think we will be able to just deploy, get away, and hopefully we'll have a bit of a gap before the rainy period arrives. But yeah, we had a safety car within the first 5 laps. The Alpines had a bit of a scuffle, but that's just racing. It happens. There's not much we can do about it. Now, Porsche is kind of getting left behind here, which is worrisome. It's because I didn't actually tune up his tires. That's on me then. Yeah, that's completely on me. I don't know why I didn't fix his tires. Flip of the mind. What's it called? A brain fart? We are going to slow Piastri down a bit here because we do want to have Porsche within DRS range, and we do now, so that is good. Ferraris are falling along Norris. I'll have to see if these 3 cars here will be able to keep going until the rain starts. I doubt it, so might be a bit too many pit stops for them, honestly. The Ferrari has a good chance here. Norris is having a good chance. Potentially the McLaren could have a shot here at getting into the points. Depends on how quickly Doohan gets through the field. And particularly once it starts raining and, you know, it's going to be a bit more difficult to overtake.
More rain to come.
But weather had been predicted. We're just going to run aggressive on the tires then, because we are going to get rid of them fairly soon. No reason to go easy on them.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
And in terms of the rain expected, it's still 4 laps out, but I feel aggressive for 4 laps should still be okay. We had a crash here. Again. You crashed. No safety car.
We've had a crash.
Panic.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Assuming he's so far back, I would assume lockup.
Clearly,
Oh,
something went.
that was very close though that he took out another car, so that's lucky. Pit window has been entered. And I'm thinking we actually, let's see. Also average lap times, 1:46, so 2 minutes. I think we're gonna have to run 1 more lap here. Nope, never mind, it's already raining. We're gonna get both of them in at the same time. It's gonna suck, but I can't really do anything. I didn't realize it had already started raining. I thought we had it 3 minutes to wait. I guess this 15% actually pulled through because, as you can see, it's not expected to be raining on the track right now. And it should still be into the entire way. It's the estimation from the forecast.
Rain in the pit lane at the moment.
Unfortunately, we are going to double stack. It's just how it's going to have to be. Porsche is losing out a bit due to it. There's not really much we can do about it. Let's go ahead and tune down the tires. I want to, you know, burn them up right away. And we are going to be managing Porsche a bit here. We're going to give him overtake. And hopefully he can make his way up fairly quick here. But it's going to be a bit more difficult here in the wet, of course. Schumacher with a spin. Very unfortunate. They did have potential here. I feel McLaren because of the way the other cars were set up, but unfortunately they couldn't make it work. We're gonna have to pay a bit attention here to push his ERS. Hopefully we can have him, you know, work his way up, get to signs, recharge, and then just run away with it. That's going to be the goal. Currently about 0.8 to a second behind signs. Actually falling back a bit now. Guess we're going to have to just deploy and get it up behind him. There we are. We're going to harvest, we're going to try and overtake, and then we're going to try and just, you know, stay in front.
That sounds like
Science is
someone's gone wide
immediately
there.
running away though, so I guess we're going to have to run just for neutral here. Track is now dry.
Dry condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it to pit though, is it? Shouldn't be. We're just going to keep him running as is. Driver ran wide, Porsche.
Here's the replay.
So Porsche is not having a good race at all, honestly.
Someone's run wide.
Schumacher 2 ran wide. Yeah, we're just gonna have to leave Porsche as is. See if we can make something work here. Because our car isn't that super a lot better than the others. It's just slightly. And Porsche isn't super quicker on the dry or wet conditions. Science is actually about 0.3 quicker. Norris about 0.5. So yeah, gonna have to work for it here, really. If you want these tires to last to the end, we can't really push on them either. So
I think someone's run wide.
there's not much we can do. We can try and use ERS, but we won't really benefit too much. As you can see, every time we have to recharge, we end up falling way further back. So it could actually just straight up be that the extra fuel that we have with us here is being a bit punishing to us. Had a crash. No one is out though.
I think that was a crash.
Giovinazzi.
Let's see what happened there. Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved.
Same corner, same hidden crash, unfortunately. They do need to fix some of the camera angles in this game. Gasly running wide. Seems like he's still okay. He lost about 3 seconds as a result.
We've just had a car run wide.
Not much we can do about that, really. It's something that happens. Decent amount of water on the track. Doesn't seem like it's going to change. So yeah, we're just going to run these tires to the end. Porsche is catching up to Verstappen and Norris, though. So we might be able to get on the podium. But that second place is going to be... it's going to be a rough one to try and catch up to, honestly. He is going to struggle for that one. 7 laps, 7 seconds. That just isn't happening. Can try and give him overtakes though here now. See if he can make a move stick.
Check the DRS.
Used all of our battery. Could make a move. Should probably harvest a little bit here, but again, we just end up falling so far behind when we do. Several cars involved in a crash. Safety car. We have a gap here to just Russell, though. But it's 3 laps to go. Even if I was considering pitting for fresh here, honestly. But even if we do, I don't think it's going to change anything. Because the safety cars are going to... It's actually Doohan again, crashing into Albon. Or Albon crashing into Doohan.
Cars have crashed. Let's take a look at the replay. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. And that's a big
Doohan is
smash.
just collecting dog tags right about now. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything here other than just running it to the end now. Unfortunately, Porsche is going to end up 50 most likely due to, well, the safety car. We could, of course, try and harvest and see if we can make something happen. If we say get an opportunity towards the end. But it's going to be rough no matter what. I think this race is going to end behind the safety car.
Sounds like someone's locked
Yep,
up.
it's going to end behind the safety car.
You will be opening your last lap.
Unless the safety car, you know, goes into the pits now. Which, in all honesty, it shouldn't. Yeah, it's ending under the safety car.
Checkered flag. Checkered flag.
Unfortunate. Excuse me. Bit unfortunate there, but still. Good result there. For Piastri, a bit of a shame for Theo though, because he was getting closer to him. It was just 1 point between them. Ferrari's going to be very happy with both their cars this high up in the points. Same for the Red Bulls. So yeah, all the points on 3 teams. Bit of a shame there for Alpine here, having Doohan take out first Gasly and then himself. Bit of a bad showing all around, really. Driver Championship, Sainz and Norris move up. Leclerc moves down. Auger up into 13th now. His finishing position. Constructor Championship, we have Ferrari and Red Bull gaining on Mercedes. Alpine still comfortably ahead of both of them. Another lot of development, as you can see. We ended up in a situation where we, you know, had the rainy weather for start, but our drivers just didn't overtake each other. Money-wise, we're going to suffer here because of finish position, because Porsche finished 5th, but it's very minor. We still make 5.5 million, 600,000 extra in performance guarantees, so losing 75,000 is not a concern for us. Front wing research has been completed. Let's go ahead and start a new one. Let's see how that front wing is looking now in terms of brake cooling. We have a... we actually gained a huge amount here. About 12% gain. Airflow. We're going to need one more to cancel it out. But by doing that, I think we should be good Doohan fixed everything here, so let's do something like this. Put the downforce to minimum. We're still going to end up gaining some, as you can see, 3.5% total in low speed. We're getting a percentage for this research, but totally that would be about 3.5%. About 3% in medium, 2% in high. Brake cooling, again, we can probably boost brake cooling here too. I think we'll do this. It'll help in the long run, which is the goal here. Yeah, this looks good. We'll be able to cancel out both the airflow changes for the front wing, which is great. And we'll be able to boost the brake cooling a bit more too, which is basically the underlying goal of this series at this point. See how high we can push the cooling, if you will. So I'm perfectly happy with that. Belgian Grand Prix, congratulations, board is happy. Can't really complain about that. We have another research coming in here for the chassis. Let's see how that one went. I believe the chassis is still lacking a bit though, that's the thing. Car development report. This is weird. Someone has upgraded a single piece, pushing us down on acceleration and top speed. And a bit of cornering too. How is our warehouse looking? If we were to say slap on the new front wing, how would that affect us? Let's do that. Car analysis. Let's see. We're still second. Is it a Ferrari car? Yeah, sorry, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's Alpha. That's not Ferrari. That's a really slow for. I didn't realize the Ferraris were this bad on the speed side of things. Is it Red Bull? Yeah, it's a Red Bull car. The Red Bull car has eked us out by 0.01 kph. And actually, they have the worst brake cooling as well. Well, they are doing upgrades for different cars. Here, we have a look at car 2. No, that is car 2. Car 1. Oh wow, car 1 compared to car 2 here. 7563, 7580, so... Is this an underfloor maybe? Or is it just a rear wing? Let's see. 57, 64, 05. And I keep on pressing the wrong button because that's the one I'm used to. This looks like an underfloor upgrade, okay. That could make Red Bull a bit more competitive towards the end. I approve. Airflow, a little bit of a gain there, about 2%, but still. I believe we have a long way to go, but again, we're just going to balance the upgrades, if you will. The upgrades, the research. And as you can see here for this side pods, we are lacking a lot. We have 17% loss. We're currently at 3% alleviation. This will bring us up to 6.6. 6.6. 3% again. We're just going to get engine cooling to, you know, not be detrimental. And then we'll focus on the two airflow stats, if you will. Sorry, I'm kind of stumbling over my own words here. My apologies. Qualifying, we're going to qualify 1-2. Well, we'll try at least. Both drivers in Q3. Fastest lap should be doable. And these are good. So with that in mind, let's head to the Dutch Grand Prix. Here we are, ready for the Dutch Grand Prix. As you can see, our two drivers were pretty close. Just 200s separating them. Rocher winning out this time. Pretty impressive. In terms of the expected strategies here, two-stopper is viable, but one-stopper is probably what we'd expect. Compound performance, they're all fairly, you know, equal in terms of degradation. Softs here are really good. As you can see, they will, in terms of the average lap times, they're 3/10 quicker than the mediums. They degrade with just 100, so the only real reason you're going to lose performance here is mainly just due to, you know, the softs running out of life, rather than degradation, loss of lifetime from degradation, so to speak. Mediums 3/10 quicker than the hards again, same deal there, so soft, medium, soft could potentially work here. Hards could also work, just softs to hards, soft to medium. We'll have to see what we do. The pit lane here is fairly long though, with almost a 30-second time loss on pit. 40% safe safety car chance. So we'll have to see exactly what happens there. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and set up a strategy. We are actually expecting rain though. So starting soft, going inters, and going soft again towards the end seems to be the thing maybe? No, we're just going to stick on the inters. We are probably going to have to pit for a second set of inters potentially. But we are definitely starting on the soft with both drivers. And I think we're just going to push full on aggressive here. Because there's no reason not to. Gonna overfuel a bit too. And as I said, we're just gonna run aggressive pace. We have like 6 laps? About 6-7 laps before it starts raining. So there's no reason not to push those softs. And we're also gonna have an advantage over the other people starting on softs. We have 2 sets. We can start on softs, we can end on softs if it's necessary, but it really looks like it was going to be rainy, or rather water on the track all the way until the end. So there's no need to run a...
The crowds are waiting. It's the Dutch Grand Prix.
So there would be no...
And away we go.
There would be no need to run a soft stint towards the end there. Now, in terms of the other cars, Sainz on medium, Verstappen medium, Leclerc medium. We have Gasly out the back, penalty. But there's a lot of soft runners, as you can see. But we have established 1-2. And we'll have to see how far we can now pull away before the raining period. 4 minutes, 35% chance. We'll have to see. What I do want to see, though, is once we get far enough, I want to have a quick look at the car condition for Gasly, who got boomed out, and see if it took any damage. Because I believe he had, except for one component, he had a fairly fresh setup, so to speak. Let's have a quick look here at Gasly. Okay, so it looks like his car got totaled, because this looks mysteriously like someone who used their pieces during practice and qualifying. So I assume Gasly actually ate all the penalties. Doohan, I don't remember if he had this much damage. I believe he might have had. Or he probably lost some on his engine and gearbox during the crashes. So definitely had an effect on him. For sure.
Enabled.
That is just how things are. Again, this is a fairly simple, straightforward race for us.
Further rain expected.
What weather is predicted? Are we going to get it now? Nope, 4 minutes. It starts. So, are we going to be cheeky here and pit one before the other? The amount of time that we've gained, I think it would be safe to just... let's gamble with Porsche. We're going to have Piastri push for one more lap. We're going to get Porsche in here on the inters, because it should start raining any second now. And we'll have Piastri just go full on attack on his final lap here.
I think the rain's coming down.
Or honestly, we'll just have him 2-pit. It's just safer. Get both cars in, and we'll tune down the usage of tire, because we'll have to see if we can make it last for a full lap. Piastri was slow though. We're at the end, but it is inters now. So we'll have to see just how long does it take him to get past that Aston. Because that Aston is currently holding him up quite a bit. Porsche here too is behind the gaggle of cars that are slow. So we'll have to see how much we have of a lead after this, because we are getting slowed down quite a bit by the others. And Doohan here is very bravely going for one more lap. Same with Hauger, Gio, Ocon. And honestly, the fact that they're going for an extra lap is going to be bad for us, because we can't overtake them. The game just sucks at overtaking in the wet. But we're good now. We are 1-2. We have Norris on us. He actually benefited from, you know, the other cars being slow. But we should, as I said, have basically intermediate for the rest of the race here. Same as we had in Belgium. And the tire life of these inters is actually not expected to be that long, as you can see. We might have to pit twice to make this work. We'll have to see how far ahead we can get before the first pit stop. We are burning extra time where due to us starters pitting early,
We've had a spin.
but also because we are burning fuel. How good with a spin? No big problem. We do now have 12 seconds, but again, it's about 30-second time loss, purely before, you know, the other modifiers are taken in. The length of running from here to here for the other cars. So we do kind of want to try and get as high, well, into the gap as we can. I don't think we'll get into a position where we will be able to get Magnussen and everyone there, but we can hope. And honestly, that's all we really can do. And I think that we are going to have to run these tires into the ground. It's 70 laps. Even if we do pit, it'll be around lap 35. So we might actually have to run a bit conservative at the end too. It's a bit of a rough one. We need to try and stretch them until 37, 38. And I think it should be doable. But it's still going to be rough, particularly for Piastri. We might have to just tune him down a bit. But as of now, as long as we can get out ahead of Sainz, I'd say we can be happy with pitting when we feel like we have to. So it's still a bit rough, don't get me wrong. But if we can beat Sainz and Magnussen, we can still be okay with the current situation. Again, Piastri is going to have to pit now on this lap here, because otherwise he'll start burning his tires into the absolute abyss. He's estimated to come out in 10th. We'll have to see just how far back he actually ends up being. And we're going to have to do Pochette too fairly soon here. He actually came out in 4th. So he came out in that window where we kind of wanted him to come out. So he's good. And as you can see, getting these to the end is going to be a bit rough. So we might have to tune him down a bit later on. Honestly, he is in fresh air. He is in a good position. Norris and Verstappen are both going to have to pit at some point. So we can just start running light now and try and conserve these tires a bit more. In terms of Pochette, I think if we actually pit him now, it should still be good. He just finished, yeah, so we'll have one more lap on these. That should be okay. And we'll get him in right now for his potentially final pit stop here. We'll have to see also how much damage the tires start taking during this period here, the last 4 laps. Which is also why we want to try and, you know, retain / save some of our tire usage here, if possible, to have more to go on towards the end. And we'll just have to see how that plays out. Everyone has now pitted.
There's a big crash.
Well, not everyone. The cars in front of us pitted.
Let's take a closer
That's not the
look.
crash. That's the
We're
Norris
just
spin.
watching the Red Bull. And yes, that's where they spin out.
Okay, luckily I don't think he took damage to the rear wing there. But did he crash getting back onto the track?
Sounds like there's been a crash. We
The
can
Noda
take a look
crashed.
Now just focus on the Haas.
Okay, that's Tsunoda out. The rear wing busted like that, you just aren't going to be able to do anything. But the AI will probably run him to the end anyways. Joe actually came out ahead of Pochette and kind of screwed him over there, to be fair. But yeah, for now we're just gonna allow things to progress as they are. We have a healthy lead. Doohan and both the Alpine drivers are running their tires to the ground. They should be pitting it, honestly. You can see they are 2 seconds slower than Verstappen in front of them. So each lap they extend here, they're just going to suffer more. And potentially here, they might actually just go for broke here and puncture those tires. Doohan is now pitting. I would assume Gas is going to do the same. No? Okay. Yeah, it's also running things down. Oh, Piastri ran wide. Should still be okay though, because again, he only has really Pochette to worry about. Gasly, they're both pitting.
Who's running wide there?
So yeah, they're really running these tires a bit further down than they should, the way that I'm looking at it, because we are doing better lap times against their tires while running, you know, keep your tires alive to the end strategy, if you will. Now, in terms of Verstappen, he's the only real threat if we need to pit again. He is gaining, though, because we are running, you know, a passive strategy. But he isn't gaining too much. He's actually lost a little bit there. So, again, I guess it depends on how held up he gets. And now it started to becoming a bit more wet. We have about 12 laps to go. So, yeah, I think we can make this going. Schumacher has crashed. He's back on track though. No safety car. And yeah, I think we're good. We're just not gonna burn fuel.
Here's the replay.
Because
now just
we
take a look at the McLaren.
don't want to have any extra wear on our tires, really.
They've lost control, and there's the crash.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough one, actually. I'm a bit surprised he isn't out. But yeah, again, we are looking good. We can just leave things as be.
So it's not raining in the pit lane.
Excuse me. Rain has stopped, and it's gonna be, you know, harder towards the end. We might actually have to pit purely because we don't want to... because the tires are gonna fall off that hard. 10 seconds though. Between, well, 9 seconds. Between Verstappen and Piastri, he is gaining. Gaining quite a bit, so... we'll have to see.
We think the track will be dry.
Track will be dry. I still think we'll be able to maintain our current lead. Might have to tune down. Albon is pitting, Hadjar is pitting, Verstappen pitted. 2 laps to go. We should be able to keep this advantage, I feel. I know your tires are severely overheating, but I'm gambling on them surviving to the end. Final lap.
So one more lap.
Verstappen is just, you know, rocket cruising towards us here. Okay, Verstappen might actually get Piastri here.
That's the flag.
He did. We gambled, we lost. It's just how things be, fortunately. I should probably just pit them onto soft though. We have a car that is quick enough for that. And we had fresh softs too. We could have just pushed all out. That's on me though. We tried. That's really all that matters. As you can see, it was doing quite a bit faster lap times towards the end, I think. I don't really see it here though. We need to go into lap history. Verstappen. 110, 111. Piastri had... oh yeah, Piastri was doing 1921. So yeah, you can see that once it dried out, those tires really fell off. That's unfortunate, really, but just how it be. Pourchaire wins, Piastri third, meaning Pourchaire is catching up a bit again in the championship. Ferrari second and fourth, Red Bull fifth, Doohan sixth for Alpine. Kind of impressive they made it back up there, honestly. They had a bit of a weird one with the pits. Gasly in 8th, pretty good for them as well. Mercedes is struggling currently, so I'll have to see if they can make a stage a comeback, so to speak. And in terms of driver stand, we have Piastri now 3 points ahead of Pourchaire. Sainz moving up, Verstappen moving up, and as you can see, Ferrari is currently on the climb. So we'll have to see just how high up they end up towards the end of the season. Constructors, Ferrari has now overtaken Mercedes. Red Bull is still trying to, you know, chase them down. We'll have to see how that goes as well. Yeah, it was a good race there. Bit of a blunder towards the end in terms of strategy. Once I saw the Ferrari pit, we should have just pitted Piastri too. But honestly, with the amount of time we lost on that lap when they pitted, it probably wouldn't have been worth it. We would have to respond immediately. That's on me though. I should have thought about that, but I didn't. So, well, my-wise, we did fairly okay, as you can see. The difference is, of course, the impressive versus the exceptional, extra 150 points. If both were impressive, they'd both have, you know, about the same amount of development here, really, from the race. Still good, though. We'll lose a little bit of money here from the fastest lap guarantee. Couldn't really pull it off because, of course, we didn't pit for softs at the end. But, it's something we'll have to live with. We'd still make a lot of money. And with that, this will be the end of this episode of the Williams playthrough. It's going pretty well so far. We are having a lot of fun, but again, I'm thinking that we probably will be ending it after this season. I'll be doing the smoothness test on, you know, Piastri versus Pourchaire, and we'll be doing the test for the other driver stats during the McLaren save. So I think, unfortunately, if we're going to have to shell Williams save, there's not really too much else we can do here. We can't really hire any young drivers. So I think focusing on Aston and focusing on streaming with McLaren will probably be a lot more entertaining and a lot more fun to watch. But the Williams save has been really, really great. It's been a lot of fun to play. So give me your opinions, what you think I should do. It would be, of course, your input is always valued. So let me know what you think. And I'll give it these last few episodes to see what we do with this save, honestly. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's watched so far. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. Please do like and subscribe. It does help me out a ton. It's very nice if you do so. Thank you very much. And a big thanks to all my members and everyone who is supporting me in any way, shape, or form. It's really, really... I really, really appreciate it. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.